So coming to our last question, it's getting more personal again. So you when we talk about your career, it sounds like really rosy and great and interesting. But I wrote that it wasn't always like that. Would you like to tell our audience a little bit about the dark sides of your career and maybe what you took off of these situations?
Yeah, like I remember one time doing a workshop, and there's two times actually. I've gotten burned a lot in workshops, but there's two that really stand out. Um, I won't name the organizations, but they're large organizations, both of them. So in the first one, I was talking about data visualization. It was the C-suite, and the CIO was there, and I was talking with I would say fairly typical in the industry for us in BI. I was on my data visualization high horse, and felt like I knew, hey, no pie charts, like all that sort of stuff, right? And so one of them was, I was told that the right in front of everyone, by this CIO, he said, oh, all you're talking about is Stephen Few. Everyone knows that we are wasting our time. I was like, oh my god, this is all I know. um it's like one of those times where it's like, I wish I could run out of the room, because it instantly took away everything that I felt like, all the value I was adding. And there's no happy ending to that story. It was just not fun. And if I look back at that, I would say, I was arrogant in what I thought I knew and my perception of what I thought other people knew. It was a CIO. It is very likely that a CIO knows some of this stuff. It's also likely that there's like very technically competent, and they've done some research, especially if they're engaging consultants. So look, there's lessons learned there. Know your audience, and know who you're talking to. You don't be arrogant. Another one was kind of similar, and I think this was kind of symptomatic of early in my career. Um, Talking to a CAO, Chief Accounting Officer, and there was a group there, and the CFO was there as well, in this workshop. And he, right at the start, it was supposed to be a 4-hour workshop. Right at the start, this gentleman stood up and he said, "This is all BS. I'm out of here." And he got up and left. And I was like, "Oh my god, this is awful. Like, I'm surely going to get fired for this one." And not like 30 seconds later, I can't remember if it was the CAO or the CFO, but the one that was left, she stood up and she said, "Oh, thank God that a-hole is gone. Now we can get some work done." I was like, "Whoa, what did I walk into?" And again, I would chalk that one up to a degree of arrogance in presenting, material to very senior people. I would never do that kind of stuff again. Like, that's 5 years ago where I did that kind of thing. Um, but also then knowing who you're going to be working with, knowing the politics. And if I was a better change management professional, all of that stuff would have been, yeah, of course you need to know that. That's a given. But there are some things like that where I don't want to pick on data scientists, but some of the data scientists that I've worked with that are incredibly smart, far smarter than I am, can have a degree of arrogance when they're working with the business that could surface or could unnecessarily surface tension and friction. That could be a barrier to working together. And so I think just that those are the kind of the two big learnings I had, Kai, on getting burned. Of course, there's plenty more. This gray hair didn't come from nowhere. Of course, but part is just dealing with stress in work and having to try and get people on board. And for a lot of my career was the brute force approach. It's like, let's make this work, when there is much more subtler and finer arts to do that and get people on board.